Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement on Thanksgiving. And yeah, it's been, it's been a hellacious week leading up to today, but we finally got some time to spend with you, and really excited about that. We sent the StreamYard link out to a ton of people, and so basically this is just open mic. Anyone who wants to jump in can come talk and say hi and share with us their Thanksgiving plans. In the meantime, in spirit of gratitude, thankfulness, I'm gonna play that intro again because it's so cool, and it literally just bullet points some of the coolest features of anti-gravity. So we're gonna play that again right here. Amazing, totally amazing. It switched screens here, so it froze my face again. I have to, this is the painful part about streaming, is I have to pause my mining, my folding at home for Dr. Doge tokens to use basically anything on my computer, especially the cameras. And so, yeah, even then, even when I pause it, it still has hiccups and burps. And I don't know, maybe during this next bull run, I'll finally hire the Geek Squad to come out and fix whatever codecs or issues are going on with my software. But happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I'm very thankful for people like Red Squirrel here, and all the cool stuff he's been building, all the stuff he's been doing. We should very soon, in a short amount of time, be able to share some stuff with you which pertains to Anti-Gravity Project and to your NFTs. It's been rough going with Pulse Market and Mintra, and well, really just everything on Pulse Chain. The API is very difficult to use. RPCs go in and out, and we're still waiting for the upgrade from is it the Spectra? Anyway, if you know in chat, let me know. But that upgrade will allow for better security and features on Pulse Chain once they roll it, once they update or bring it to Pulse Chain. So we're looking forward to all of that. We are thankful for the people working on that. We're thankful for the people working on Internet Money Wallet. We're thankful for the people at 0x Coast working on ramping. We're thankful for we're thankful for Richard Hart, who we believe is alive, and him working on some hopefully privacy features, some on-ramp, off-ramp features that give you a little bit more anonymity. The Petra. I always want to say Pectras because I think it has to do with your chest, but It's the Petra upgrade. Yeah, it would be nice when they integrate that with us. Like I said, the link to join, I'm going to put it um, in our comments here. I'm going to also put it in our comments on X. So and then, yeah, if you guys want to jump in, great. If you guys are on the road, happy travels. If you guys are in the kitchen listening to this, try your best to get the lumps out of the mashed potatoes. Not many people like the lumpy mashed potatoes. No, seriously, like enjoy your time with the family. Enjoy your time cooking your favorite dishes. I was drinking some coffee earlier. Shout out to Actuator, this killer copper mug that they gave out in Vegas. Um, yeah, yeah. I hope you guys are doing it, whether you're hosting or traveling or whatever you're doing for Turkey Day. I'm hoping that you and yours have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Um, there's a bunch of stuff going on in anti-gravity. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know there's much going on in Pulse unless you're on Twitter. Twitter is our dumpster fire that we dance around and tweet a million things a day. So if you're on Twitter, you'd see a lot of stuff from Vault, a lot of stuff from True DeFi. You'd see a lot of stuff from, well, there's a couple of meme coins. And of course, you'd see all the drama of people calling out Richard or supporting Richard blind. I mean, I like the Richard Hart realist approach, which is like, look, he's just a dude. He's a cool dude, but he's going to make mistakes. He's going to do things in his own self-interest that are not aligned with our self-interest. That's just how it goes. And he's going to make mistakes. He's going to fumble. But you know what? Like at the end of the day, if our goals and our dreams align with his dreams, then that is a good partnership. And, when Richard stops seeking for glory by pumping the price out of stuff that we own, then that'll be a different discussion. We got Retro Stack in here. Happy Turkey Giving Day. Thank you very much. Yes, happy Turkey Giving Day to you. If I get the green light from someone, I will be showing you guys some really cool stuff that is going to make it easier for you to see and manage your NFTs and possibly send them. I know that a lot of you guys are sitting on a fat stack of Journey 4s and you're wanting to sell or give away or vaporize them and harvest that dark matter energy out of those and jump into some of these new mining mints. So we have the mint for Journey 9 going on right now. And the evil address has been completely exhausted. So the evil address has been minted. All 29,900 and something, basically 30,000 have been minted. Outside of those 30,000 that have been minted, there's like 1,400. That's it, 1,400 user mints. We're waiting to see what the mystery box does if it comes in and takes a position in Journey 9, which I'm guessing it will, because without the mystery box minting, the pink Mistwell deal doesn't really go over. We're going to go over charts, go over prices. But something very, very interesting, something that we're waiting for, something that has a huge effect on our community is Bitcoin. As we said always, Bitcoin is old man Bitcoin. It's the God crypto. It is the place that the most economic energy has been stored in crypto thus far. And it's crypto that's survived the longest. I want to play a clip for you guys from Alessio Rustani. Alessio Rustani is a really interesting dude. Back in the day when I was trying to learn trading, Forex, options, that kind of stuff, I was learning how to read charts and indicators, things of that nature. And I don't know if I got a course I think I paid for one of his courses, and then also another cool dude named TJ. It's gonna bug me. I'll tell you anyways. But he's a couple of really good courses I bought back in the day that really did teach me a lot about how to read charts and candles and momentum and tops and bottoms and things like that. So, but he released this clip at the beginning of last week, I believe. Excuse me. 6 days ago, he released this clip. Yeah, so last week he did. And just look what he says, because excuse me, there's something called a golden cross, and there's also something called a death cross in charting, which is the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, and when they cross each other. And in most cryptos and most assets and most stocks and bonds and things like that, the death cross is assigned to get out of town, to dump your stuff, to sit on the sidelines, cash out, put it into dry powder and wait. Bitcoin's much, much different than that. And I think this is on the daily chart, might be on the weekly chart. He'll show you. But basically the death cross in crypto, in Bitcoin, is actually very, very positive overall. Historically, it was like, it really usually pumps after the death cross, which is the opposite of most assets. So I'm going to play that. Squirrel says, actually, I built something a few days ago which will bypass the need for EIP 7702. We should chat soon. We definitely should chat soon. Excited to learn about that. Everything that Squirrel's been cooking is just, you would think that this was his profession and his full-time job. And it's literally just it's a passion project, and I'm a big fan. If you guys go to squirrels.pro, here, let me share my screen. I'm going to freeze my cute little face here, and I'm going to share my audio. So remind me, guys, that if someone comes on and all you hear is echo, 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 I need to stop sharing and doing that. Oh, Diane's in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Diane. Diane is one of the winners of 500 dark during our birthday giveaway. I haven't had a chance to come chill with you guys since our birthday giveaway. And Diane and Hugh Miarchi, they both walked with 500 dark. They became sharks instantly without owning any beforehand, which I think they do own some beforehand, but congratulations again to Diane. And Elizabeth is in the house. Elizabeth, if you get a couple of seconds to go over here, let's talk about this really quick, actually, before I jump into that. Go to X, go to communities, go to collective. And this is where you post your art. Just became a senior tech in the collective. Let's effing go. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. Post that. Way to go, Bright Light. Congratulations on becoming a senior tech in the collective. J9 art submission. Look, this is a new one from Red Squirrel. Oh, I didn't see the animated version yet. So we're gonna like it. We're gonna retweet it. We're gonna say J9 art contest in full swing. Come win crypto and join the hashtag SpaceCult. Boom. Okay, so now we're looking at this one. Let's actually check it out. So this is BitBoy Leroy, our 6-limbed chimpanzee in the book right here. Oh, check out the eyes. Dude, this is so sick. Okay, so he's sitting at 7 votes right now. That was pretty tough. Are we doing fine in here? Or are we all adding to the darkness? J9 art submission. Wait, is this the one he did before? Like this is the short clip that we played earlier? Because right now he's at 7. Yeah, because I already liked it. He's at 7 right here, 7 votes here.
Dark matter.
Do you have enough dark? Senior technician 0x369. Ready for launch. Roger that, 0x369.
You are cleared for liftoff. This is Anti-Gravity Project.
Dark matter.
Journey 9.
Do you have enough dark?
I love it.
Dark.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This one, we're going to ignore that one. We're just going to scroll past that one. And this was J8. Now, let's see. What did I say? This was the first one? Maybe this is the first one. I don't know. There's another one, a very, very interesting poem that totally captured my imagination this morning from CryptoCat, which I will be reading sometime when he's here so he can comment on it, because I really want to get his take on it right there. Robert, yep, see, look at this. He's already posting, restreaming this. Thank you so much. Yep. Okay, so again, Elizabeth, if you get some time in your schedule, which I don't know, you're a very busy person, busy mom, and you've got a lot going on. Oh, and you bet, Diane. Elizabeth has put some of the most beautiful art forward in our art contest. In fact, this right here, this dark matter was animated by Zephyr Trips of the astronaut walking out of this Cosmo. It's beautiful. She's the winner of Journey 4, and I think she could very easily take some more of these contests doing that. Hex T Armstrong's in the house. Ahoy, mates. Ahoy. Good to see you. Hello, Max, Red, Retro Static. Hex Glenn is there. Hey, Max, the Space Crew. What's up, Hex Glenn? Great to see you as always. He has also put forth some really cool art, both in our Telegram back in the day and on Twitter. So get your friends and neighbors on Twitter, have them join that. And now I'm going to go back. I digress. This is the one from Alessio Rustani. And also, just to give this guy a shout out, Alessio Rustani is the reason I'm in crypto. In short, he was the 7th touch. He was the final nail in the coffin that got me to go down the rabbit hole of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. He told me, this is actually in 2015. 2015, I'm driving up in the oil fields of North Dakota. I'm, listening to everything I can about real estate, stocks, bonds, financial freedom, you name it. And like I said, I was doing a couple of courses as well to learn this stuff. And Alessio Rustani, he had made some really good calls in the stock market. And in 2000, I believe it was January of 2015. Let me look at the Bitcoin chart here. Yeah, maximum Bitcoin chart. Yeah, right here. It was right. It was right. No, it was before that. It was back here. So it doesn't even go back that far on Google. Google, did you know that Bitcoin was actually created in 2009? Did you know that, Google? I don't know if they have anybody working over at Google that can check on this stuff or update it. But if anyone wants to pass that along to Google, that there's 5 years missing from the maximum chart, dipshits. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. This is $453. Back when he said it's time to look at Bitcoin, it was $150. Bitcoin had just gone from its all-time high in 2014. So in 2014, it hit $1,000. And then it dropped all the way back down to $150 in the beginning of 2015. And he said, it's time to take a look at Bitcoin. Because he'd been, obviously, up to that point, he'd seen it go from nothing to a penny, then from a penny to 10 cents, then from 10 cents to 30 cents, then from 30 cents to $1, then 30 cents to $1 to $100, and then $1,000 back to $150. So he said it's time to look at Bitcoin. At that time, I thought Bitcoin was a stock or a company. I didn't know it was a technology. or really that it was a cryptocurrency. And I really didn't understand cryptocurrency other than some private currencies that people had tried to make. So Alyssa Rastani said, it's time to look at Bitcoin. So I looked into it, and holy cow, I went down the rabbit hole of anarchy, voluntarism, anarcho-capitalism. It just down like, oh my gosh, the banks and governments are doing us some huge disservices and not really our friends, so to speak. And here is a technology we can use so that we're not at the mercy of the middlemen and gatekeepers. And so, yeah, that was all the way back there. So Alessio Rastani knows his stuff. In fact, during the last bull run when I was feeling rich and wealthy, I told him, hey, thanks, man. Like, it was 2022. I sent him a personal message, or maybe I shouted him out on Twitter. I don't know. But either way, I was like, man, you're the one that introduced me to Bitcoin in 2015, and it's been an incredible ride since then. He's like, oh, my pleasure. Like that, I'm sure that made his day to be like, man, people reach out and be like, hey, thank you so much for turning me on to this technology, this stock, this strategy. It's changed my life. So Alyssa Rastani, big shout out to him. He's got the street cred. And let's actually play this video right here and piss off YouTube, apparently, because their algorithms are all about jumping your bones. But check this out. This is Alessio Rastani, this is beginning, and this is about every time we've had a death cross in Bitcoin and the results.
Hope you're well. So Bitcoin has just done two important things. In fact, Bitcoin managed to break this rising uptrend line you're seeing here recently. And more recently, you can see that the death cross signal has just recently triggered as well. The daily 50 simple moving average, the gray line, has gone below the 200 simple moving average here, the green line. So what could this mean? Is this a sign that Bitcoin is moving into a bear market or downtrend? Or are there some better ways to look at this chart picture and examine what is happening here on Bitcoin? So I'm going to dig into this chart. All right, guys, join me. All right, guys, welcome back. So before we dig into this particular chart of Bitcoin, which as you can see here is now broken this downtrend line, and I'm going to examine the important signal that has just triggered here, the death cross signal, which, as I'm sure you know, some analysts consider this to be a bearish sign. But the question is, are they right? We'll examine this in more detail. Before we do that, though, let me first of all show you this. What you see here is a screenshot of my video, the members video from the 2nd of November. And in that particular video, I issued a major warning about Bitcoin. Here's some clips and we'll come back. Because of the Dow theory bearish signal, at the moment, there is an increasing or elevated risk of more downside potential. So at the moment here, there is potential still for the C wave to extend lower. Recently, my good friend and trader Manuel Bly, the DowTheory.com, he mentioned in his newsletter that Bitcoin had triggered a Dow theory bearish signal. All it meant was that risk to the downside had slightly increased. As long as Bitcoin, as long as price remains below this recent high that it made there, there's still a higher risk or higher probability for a lower low into likely testing this trendline support and potentially even lower levels, this important region of support between 93,700 to even 91K. All right, guys, thank you for watching that video. So as you saw in the clips, when the Dow theory bearish signal occurred, that increased downside risk. In the video, in the members video on the 13th of November, here's a screenshot. I mentioned there's more downside risk potentially to the lower targets. Why? Because Bitcoin had got rejected from its daily 21 EMA. This bounce just got rejected. And I said, as long as Bitcoin stays below resistance, there's potential for more downside risk here towards this 91K, 93K level here. And indeed, Bitcoin has followed through and has dropped to those levels. So what Bitcoin has done now is two important things. Firstly, it has broken this uptrend line you're seeing here. Now, as I'm sure you know, some textbooks in technical analysis say, well, if that occurs, if you see a break of the uptrend line, that potentially means we're in a downtrend. However, as I shall explain to you, that is not necessarily the case. But also importantly, the 50 simple moving average here, the grayish white line, has crossed recently below the 200 simple moving average, which, as I'm sure you know, that's often called a death cross. Typically seen by some analysts or by most analysts as a bearish sign or as a negative sign. But guys, if you've been watching my videos for some time, you probably know my views about the death cross signal, okay? Because it's not the same as everybody else's. And I'll explain to you why. So the question is this: Now that Bitcoin has fallen below its uptrend line and we have a death cross signal, are these now potentially very dangerous and bearish signs for Bitcoin in the next several months? I'm going to show you what the true meaning of a death cross signal is. Let's take a look at 2025. This signal occurred back in April, if you remember. So you can see what happened here. The 50 SMA, the 50 simple moving average, went below its 200 simple moving average. And by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you every instance. I'm going to show you every example of a death cross on Bitcoin going back to 2011. So here it is. You can see that when the death cross signal occurred, by that time, the price had become so overstretched, so oversold, that for the next several weeks and months, for the next 1 to 3 months, Bitcoin, as a matter of fact, rallied. So it bottomed soon after the death cross signal occurred. Price bottomed and then rallied for the next several months. Here's an example from 2024, as shown to you by the red arrow. When the death cross signal occurred, by that time it was bottoming. And then for the next 1 to 3 months, yeah, it rallied higher. This is the year 2023. You can see when the death cross signal occurred here, yep, pretty much was bottoming. And then for the next several months, rallied higher. Next example. Again, you can see it clearly very here. Now, in this example, when the death cross signal occurred, there was a bit more downside, but nonetheless, for the next several months, it rallied higher. That was the year 2022, 2021. Again, I know it becomes a bit tedious showing every example, but just bear with me here. So in the year 2021, after the death cross signal occurred, there was a bit more downside here. So price did not immediately bottom, but nevertheless, after that drop, you're seeing here, for the next several months, it rallied higher. By the way, pay also attention to the direction of the 200 simple moving average, the green line. So if this is upward sloping, there's a higher probability of price usually carrying on the uptrend in the next several months. So do pay attention to that. This is the year 2020. Notice that in that year, despite the fact that the death cross signal occurred with a downward sloping 200 moving average, nevertheless, after the death cross signal occurred here, the price rallied for the next several months, the next 1 to 3 months. Okay. And again, it's the next 1 to 3 months that at the moment matters. Let me show you this. 2019. Now, 2019 was an exception to the rule. Notice that when the death cross signal occurred, the price did indeed have a negative reaction and dropped. However, you will notice that by the time the death cross signal occurred, there was already a strong bounce in the price of Bitcoin, which is not the case today. Right now, as I'm making this video, we do not have a strong bounce. In fact, the price is pretty much oversold. 2018, notice, despite the fact that that year it was a bear market for Bitcoin, after the death cross signal occurred, pretty much soon after, in the next several weeks, Bitcoin rallied. 2015, again, after death cross signal, price rallied higher in the next 1 to 3 months. Now, in the year 2014, you will see after the death cross signal occurred, the price of Bitcoin went sideways for a while, but then it did have a negative reaction and then dropped significantly lower. However, you will see that in that year, the slope of the 200 moving average was downwards. So we were already in a bear market at that point when this death cross signal occurred. So that was a bit of a warning sign. This is also in the year 2014. So look at this. This is another example from the same year, 2014. In April of that year, notice after the death cross signal occurred, notice we have an upward sloping 200 moving average. And notice after the death cross signal, despite the fact there was another drop, nevertheless, in the next 1 to 3 months, price rallied, went higher, as you'll see here, is positive. This is in the year 2011. Now, 2011 is also another example of when price did not have a positive reaction. And you will see that.
Did you guys see that? Let me back up just a little bit. The charts like start to all look the same, but look at this price on the side of the chart right here. Look at this is 2011. So this was Bitcoin's pump up to $1,000 in 2014. So here's the 2011. This is like the $30 maybe. Let's see. Nope, that would have been higher. But either way, I'm just like looking at these prices right here. You know, the death cross. Like imagine grabbing a bunch of Bitcoin. You know, during some of these points of $5, $28. It's insane.
Now, 2011 is also another example of when price did not have a positive reaction. And you will see that after the death cross signal occurred, it continued the downward path. All right, guys, so we have looked at every example of a death cross signal going back to 2011 all the way to the more recent example we saw in the year 2025. And here's what this means. So we're going to apply this to the more recent death cross signal that we have here on Bitcoin in November of 2025. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually write this down here. We have 12 examples, 12 instances of a death cross signal, DC. And out of those 12 examples, as we saw, 9 of them were positive. So positive signals, which means in the next 1 to 3 months, price went higher. But there were 3 negative ones as well, where after the death cross signal, price dropped, continued to go lower. So what does this mean? This means we have a 75% probability of the price going higher in the next 1 to 3 months, based on 9 signals out of 25 being positive for the next 1 to 3 months, and only about 25% being negative. So in other words, we have a much higher probability, 75% probability of the price of Bitcoin rallying in the next 1 to 3 months, being positive in the next 1 to 3 months, despite whatever might happen in the near term. So for example, don't get me wrong here, guys. I'm not saying the price of Bitcoin has definitely bottomed right now. I'm not saying that because at the moment, as we're making this video, as yet, there's no sign of a bottom yet. But given what we're seeing here, based on the probabilities and based on the stats, we have a much higher probability, 75% probability of a death cross signal, as occurred recently, turning out being positive, okay? But indeed, we have a 25% probability of that signal resulting in more downside in the next few months, okay? So I don't know about you, but personally, I'm going to go with what I consider to be the higher probability, which is to see the price of Bitcoin rallying and seeing a strong bounce in the next 1 to 3 months. And by the way, let's not forget, the price of Bitcoin, as we're making this video, is already pretty much oversold. Now, even if it continues to push a bit further lower, which is possible, nevertheless, let's not forget, based on what we saw in this video, every example of a death cross signal, the balance of probabilities seems to show that after a death cross signal occurs, especially after an all-time high, and also the fact that we had a rising 200 moving average here before that death cross signal occurred, again, the balance of probabilities seem to favor that in the next 1 to 3 months, we could see a strong bounce or a rally. Again, guys, I'm saying the next 1 to 3 months. So I don't really care what happens in the next few days. What matters is what happens in the next several weeks, going to the end of the year. Again, the next 1 to 3 months, which has a higher probability, a 75% probability of the price rallying and seeing a strong bounce and potentially moving back into an uptrend. That's what I'm going with. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, well, maybe this time is different. Maybe this time it's going to be the 25% probability where we just drop and crash much further lower. Yes, that is possible. But for me, at the moment, that carries a lower probability. So I'm personally with the green scenario for the next several months. And let me also mention this. I think it's generally a mistake that a lot of analysts make, that they think that just because a trend line gets broken, that by itself means, oh, okay, the trend has reversed and now we're going to fall into a downtrend. No, as I mentioned to you in my previous video, everything depends on the next bounce, okay, the next rally. Let's look at the structure of that next bounce or rally. Is the structure going to be impulsive, where you see a 5-wave rally, like on the lower time frame on a 60-minute, that would be a positive sign for a bounce? Or on the other hand, if you get a corrective bounce, which is a 3-wave move or rally, that would be a very dangerous sign for Bitcoin. So let's see what kind of a structure we get in that next bounce or rally in the price of Bitcoin. By the way, guys, for those of you who want to join our membership, let me just say that I'm going to come out with a very special offer to join the membership in the next few weeks. So make sure you watch our videos for more details about that. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. I'll be interested to hear your views. And by the way, guys, don't forget that myself and Charlie Burton are doing an online educational course on trading and technical analysis. And to get the early bird discount, just go to this link you see here, which is also in the description. Okay, thank you very much indeed. See you guys in the next video update. Cheers.
So that's Alessio Rastani. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. But yeah, this is his channel if you guys want to check out more of his stuff. Right there. And let's see what's happened in the last 6 days since he made this video. We did see Bitcoin go down even lower, right? So yeah, this is his channel right there if you guys want to check him out, Alessio Rastani. I was trying to just copy his name so you could search for it, but it's you see it there. Yeah, cool stuff. Like I said, Bitcoin in the last week, last 5 days since he made the video, it went down lower to down to 84, and now it's back up to 90. So is this the bottom out? I don't know. Could go lower. I honestly, if Bitcoin went to like 50K or 60K, it wouldn't surprise me at all before it went back up. I would be surprised if this was the bull run for Bitcoin. If this is the bull run for Bitcoin, there's a lot of things that don't add up and make sense because, like I said, a bunch of powerful and evil people have bought and manipulated the ownership of Bitcoin through ETFs and things of that nature. They've been stacking Bitcoin. Countries, governments, banks, they've been stacking Bitcoin. They've been stacking Ethereum. They've actually been stacking more Ethereum recently, according to, if you look at the price action. That's, every time the price goes up, the Ethereum Foundation mysteriously dumps millions and millions of dollars of Ethereum as the price is going up. That's sabotage. That's manipulation, right? That's not something that most people would do just because they want the money. That's a sign that there's some work, something at play there. So like I said, evil people have been stacking Ethereum. Evil people have been stacking Bitcoin, and I mean, let's see money supply. Let's just take a look at the M2 money supply. So M1 money, I believe, is, let's see here, view data measured supply includes all components of M1. So I believe M1 money is like cash. It's the money that's in cash market, cash markets, bank accounts, physical cash. Like I believe that's M1. M2 is kind of like governments and banks and things that are on ledgers, right, on spreadsheets. So if you look at this image of the M2 money supply. This is up to 2023. I have no idea why they're not showing us the last 2 years of this shit show. Let's check out this chart. This chart goes, what is this? Money supply going up in Ks of billions, thousands of billions. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, here we go. 22 trillion is kind of close to what we're sitting at right now. They're claiming it's going down, but you know how governments are with numbers and money. The point is there's just a hockey stick. I'm having trouble finding a good representation for you guys, but there is a hockey stick that just shows the amount of money going insanely high. And all that money is not real economic energy. It's just inflating the unit of account, right? So I mean, there's all these dollars, but they didn't provide, or they didn't create or add 20 times the economic energy to the country or the world. They just 20x the supply of dollars. So really it's just it's devaluing the dollar, obviously, but those dollars got to go somewhere. So even though we know that money's not real, it's a shared fiction, the truth is that we can take a look at this and in our dollar bills, because everything's measured in dollars. Everyone's like, well, I'm stacking sats. You're stacking sats so that you can sell sats for dollars at a certain point, because until a new monetary system shows up that everyone believes in, another shared fiction comes along, the dollar is what people are looking at. You're paying your bills in dollars. There's a handful of people paying bills in crypto and stuff, but they're usually kicking themselves because they're like, man, I really should have hung on to that Bitcoin that I bought the pizza with, or the hex that I bought the pizza. Like, you look back and you're like, man, this is a better store of value. It's not really a great medium of exchange. It's not a great currency per se. so far as that part of currency, but yeah, as you see here in this last, since that video, it did go down here and touch previous lows of 84. And like I said, if it went back down here to touch 50 before it went up, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like there's usually some crazy death spike to margin all the traders to basically, it's a casino game. They're basically taking all the chips off the tables and kicking everyone out. They're taking everyone's money for one last big thing before they rally. And this might be it, but I mean, like I said, if this went to 50, if Bitcoin went down towards 50, 56K, let's say, and then bounced to 150 and did another Bart Simpson head at 150, I would not be surprised in the least. That wouldn't shock me at all. What would shock me is if, you know, if our bull run was $122,000 when there's so much garbage fiat clogging the system right now, just stacking up, just adding commas and commas and commas and zeros and zeros and zeros to banks spreadsheets all around the world. The part of the reason that the real estate market is so fucked up right now is because it used to be that banks and institutions would sell their non-performing assets, meaning if you had a house that wasn't cash flowing, if someone wasn't paying a mortgage on it or they weren't paying rent on it and you weren't making money, they would sell those. They would, you know, they discount them and sell them, get them off their balance sheets. But now there's no need for banks to sell anything at any price. They can literally just sit on all the money they get through the Federal Reserve System and sit on houses and artificially inflate the price and of a house. So yeah, I mean, like, we're all going to eventually live in $1 million mansions. They're just not going to be what we envisioned as kids what a $1 million mansion would look like. It could be a 2-bedroom apartment, you know, in a crappy part of the city. That's a $1 million mansion, or it's going to be about $1 million with the way that the money supply is going. So anyways, I've gone off on a tangent, but I really wanted to show you that Death Cross video from Alessio Rossani. Hopefully you guys can still see me on YouTube. I don't know if they cut me, but that was worth it. If you guys just got that glimpse, it's a really good perspective on Bitcoin. Please post the StreamYard link here. I can't join via YouTube chat. Meaning YouTube? What is here? Like I put it in the comments up here. You know, if you scroll up, Casey, hello fam, hello Casey, so good to see you. Hugh, just checking in. Hey legends, hey Hugh, congratulations on winning that big birthday payout. That was great. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with those 500 dark, man. Vibra, happy Turkey Day, Max. Happy Turkey Day, Adam and Lindsay, two of salt of the earth people, some of my favorite people to hang out with in real life and online. And yeah, Believe in Yourself says still here. Thank goodness, still there. Good. All right. So now that we've talked about Big Daddy Bitcoin, let's move on. And we've talked about the art contest going on right now in our community. Again, we still have 76. We have 76 members here. We have we have and I know a lot of these are bots and shill bots that are in here, but we have we got how many people are in here? Hang on. Am I doing this wrong? Yeah, Anti-Grad, 432 members. So we are shy about 400 members on our Twitter community. If you guys want to join on here, vote for Red Squirrel, vote for Axiom Icon. Don't vote for Steve Stash on this one. If Steve Stash does something where I don't look like a child struggling to learn to read, then I'll definitely tell you guys to vote for that one from Steve Stash. And like I said, there's an insane, intense, beautiful poem that's come from Crypto Cat that we can jump into. at some point. Come over to the horizontal feed, YouTube watch. Oh, okay, that was it. So if you look at Hex T, you see next to his chat here, it shows a vertical phone or a vertical screen right there. So he's on the phone, so the link's not working on the phone. You got to go over to the horizontal feed, which ends in Aussie. That's kind of cool. Aussie. That's what you got to jump into to get that one. All right. Cool. So again, back to, let's take a look at the charts. Oh, I want to thank Randy. I want to thank Randy Hilarski for taking a 3-day break from selling dark. He it looks like he just ground this baby down on the hex and dark price, and the two that he did this week, it's like we found a bottom for now. Now, granted, we found a bottom around $2, and then it was ground down to $1 with the help of Richard Hart and Pulse and Hex. Thanks, Richard. And now it's kind of got it like another bottom at $1. Could this go to 50 cents? Yeah. So it totally could. Like it could go to zero. Everything could go to zero. This, this is crypto. This is coding is hard, money's hard. And yeah, this go 50 cents, this go to 25 cents. Now, granted, we also know that it can go to $135. So you're a lot closer to 50 cents and 25 cents than you are to $135. That's all I'm going to say there. But yeah, this is his self-capade right here, just cashing out. And you know what? Like, as painful as it is, because I feel like a mom watching her kid get beat up on the playground and be like, leave him alone. It's this crypto. You have the right to do with your money whatever you see fit. And if he's going to literally give away his dark at these prices and destroy, like completely wipe out his NFTs. Like, look at this. There's 74. I think this has gone up. 74,959 of Journey 1's Michael Jordan rookie cards have been burnt. Imagine that. Imagine that back in the day, they printed 116,583 Michael Jordan rookie cards, right? Let me actually make this a little bit bigger because it is not easy to see on the screen, I'm sure. And shout out to my homie, Left for throwing this tool together so we can actually see who owns which NFT, since it's not very accurate on Pulse Market right now. Anyways, back to what I was saying. They literally print 116,000 Michael Jordan rookie cards, and out of those Michael Jordan rookie cards, almost 75,000 of them are burnt, ripped in half, destroyed. What happens to the remaining Michael Jordan rookie cards? Right? Again, you got okay. Hey, I'll text you because I think I need something.
Okay.
When I think of it, I'll text you.
Okay.
If you guys need anything from the store, let us know. Hex Rate Chicks on the way to the store. Grab some stuff. Are they open?
Yeah, they're open till 12.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, go with God. So anyways, yeah, let us know if you need anything from the store. But yeah, so then you got, the Kobe Bryant card come out. There's 121,000 of those printed. And 60,000, half of those are gone forever. They're never coming back. They're destroyed. And so on and so forth. Now, like I said, the sticking point comes to Journey 4, where we had the most printed of anything on Earth. I don't know which basketball player to choose on this one. Oh my gosh. We're going to call this one the Magic Johnson card because it just won't die. But you've got 121,000 of these printed right here. That was a horrible joke. And almost 50,000 of them in newt, but not nearly as much as the others percentage-wise. Like, this is the one people are like, well, I've got plenty of the Magic Johnson cards. But then these new ones down here, we got like LeBron and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry coming out, and there's fewer and fewer cards being printed as this goes on. In fact, there's only one card, one NFT burnt from Journey 8. And I think it was the evil address or the mystery box trying to figure something out with the public keys. And yeah, so there's only one of those burned so far. There's none burned so far of Journey 9. So there's 30,000 printed right now. Almost every single one of those is the evil address. It was like 29.9 or something like that. So yeah, that's the fact that Randy is willing to put a ton of these in the incinerator and push up the value of the remaining ones. Granted, the chart, the price chart, does not accurately portray the scarcity of dark matter, or or portray the NFTs shrinking. What we need is a chart that shows those NFTs declining, like starting at their total amount and then going down, and showing that shrinkage, if you will. So that's that. Let me actually turn off this Randy's sell chart. But yeah, this is the Bitcoin the hex chart. This one's still sitting at 9K of liquidity. It was at 25K of liquidity recently. I know a bunch of you cool badasses out there are adding liquidity. You guys are taking your hex rewards from other projects and your dark, and you guys are providing liquidity, which I think is very, very cool. Dr. Doge reached out with an idea for liquidity once I become a thousandaire and have 1,000 Dr. Doge tokens, by the way, which they still have more liquidity than market cap. And this is locked in a smart contract forever. 40K of liquidity, 37K market cap, which is, they're just bananas. There's very, very few projects that have any liquidity right now, especially since Richard Hart has set fire to the boat that we are all on. Dark and Actuator, big fans of Actuator over here. Big fans. There's only 1.8K of this, but you see this nice bottom here for about $1. Yeah, that's insane. That's banana. $1 dark to me is like blows my mind. This whole market blows my mind. I don't think anyone that says they saw this coming is either A, insane, or B, full of shit. Because everyone I've talked to is like, okay, it wasn't supposed to be this painful. It wasn't supposed to last this long. Even the people that were the most, pessimistic in their views would have been like, seriously, again, like down again. Yeah, it's bananas. It's crazy. But as you can see, like, you can tell which pairs Randy is selling for, and you can tell which ones he's not. And let me show you something. Homie Don't Play That by Dark. Is that $1? You are not going to find Randy's address here using Dark to buy his own token. This is a dump token, kids. Homie Don't Play That. Well, it's always been a dump token if you look at the chart, including the first few days when everyone just nuked it while we were in Vegas. Randy didn't have access to his keys then, so he wasn't one of the nukers, but that we know of. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, look at this. So Randy's not buying his own token. Homie Don't Play That with his dark. Let's see the dark and no permissions token. Dragon Pulse. Maybe I don't have it on here. Let me pull it up. Let me add it to this one. Let's copy the dark. And if you guys are ever looking for our dark smart contract address, just go to our website, and it is listed at the top of every page right here. You just copy it from agproject.io and know that you're getting the right dark, not that crappy dark that's like fractions of a penny. The one that's actually called dark matter as well, that shows up when you do the $dark on Twitter. But either way, here's Pink Miswell, Actuator, SolidX. Here's the no permissions. No permissions is sitting at $233 of liquidity. And yeah, you don't see any of his sold for nope. So what does that tell you when a founder does not buy their own token? I don't know. I mean, it could be because, sometimes you just need cash. Sometimes you're trying to get ready to buy the dippity dip dip dippity dip dip do. You know, I don't know. I know a lot of this money went into X Games, which I don't think has done too well. Let's check out X Games here. So here's X Games on Solana. Here's X Games on Pulse, right? Where did it go? Here's Solid X and X. It's not X, no, that's Peacock. V2. So this is X Game paired with the Peacock coin. But there's no X Games paired with like Pulse that I'm seeing. Anyway, yeah. So we'll see what goes on, but we're all trying to do our best to maneuver and make the right decisions during this very crazy time in the market. And yeah, so 98 cents is about a buck across the board. Let's see if anyone's listed any of the dark matter token on OX Bistro. 0x Bistro is a great place to do person-to-person over-the-counter buys and sells. And for the longest time, it was just some overpriced top hat that was sitting here. But if you ever see some dark here for sale, you can pick it up without pushing the price against yourself. That's probably something you might want to jump on. I know that things don't last very long that have a good deal on them. Usually they've got like the people that really want to sell will put like a 10% discount arbitrage on it so that people can buy it, sell a tiny bit, recoup, take that 10% profit and keep going. But yeah, there's just top half for Hex here right now. Interesting. Let's take a look at here's the 2FUX pool tokens that don't suck. Really regretting that name right about now. Looking at the chart, is I don't think these tokens suck. However, maybe we should have named it that or launched it after the bottom. I don't know. And then Dark and Dragon Believer. There is 51 cents of liquidity between Dark and Dragon Believer. And then, yeah, that's fun. Let's see here. What's Pulse up to? Someone check Pulse's Pulse. Not doing great. Like all the way back here to previous lows. All the way back to, we've round tripped every little bit of economic energy we've gained since March. That is. I was hoping I was hoping this is a good time to buy. This is a good time to buy. I was telling this might be a great time to buy, hoping for a breakout up. But the fact that Richard Hart is doing his sacrifice and just bludgeoning the baby Sill with a baseball bat right now, his own baby Sill, and shaking his own baby, giving his baby shaking baby syndrome. The fact that he's doing that now tells me that he does not see the altcoin season for a while. And I know he says silly things like, "I'm not worried about the altcoin season. I'm worried about our season." Well, our season is the altcoin season. And I don't know why I have to point this out to you, Richard Hart, but it's true. Our season is the altcoin season. You have Bitcoin. You used to have Bitcoin and then alt season, which included Ethereum. Now you have Bitcoin season, you have Ethereum season, and then you have altcoin season. That's just the way the economic energy flows. And so I think in his heart, pun intended, and with his pulse, he knows that we've got a while, maybe a year, maybe 18 months before Bitcoin finishes its thing. And then, Ethereum does its thing. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin should be doing its all. If the 4-year cycle rhymed, Bitcoin would be peaking out right now. It's not. It's still trying to decide what it's going to do with its life. And then, of course, like I said, Ethereum is a shit show of manipulation and what's it called when you throw a wrench into an engine? Sabotage. If you don't look at the Ethereum chart and just see sabotage, this right here, you don't think this is sabotage? You don't understand the way that the world works. So yeah, Pulse is just you got time. You've got time. I think we've got time to buy things at these prices. Hex, for crying out loud. This is Hex on Pulse. Third of a penny to a fourth of a penny, 4/10 of a penny. 40% of a penny. It says like 0.004. This is insane. It's back down to almost, it was down to previous lows back in September. Everything we did, man, if you would have bought last September and sold at 3 cents in December, you would have so much dry powder right now. It'd be fun. This is crypto. Remember, there's always second chances. I know some people, you never came back to $1. Well, yeah, but it came back to $10 and it came back to $100 and it came back to $1,000 and it came back to $5,000. There's always second chances in crypto. That's why having a simple take profit strategy and DCA strategy, just a simple one that you follow, can make you so much money, can make your bag so big. For instance, let's say that you bought here, you were lucky enough to catch this dippity dip right here the last time it hit 0035. So you buy it at 0035, right? At 007 right here, you're selling 10% of your bag. At 1.5 cents, which it hit, you would have hit your 1.5 cents right here. You would have sold 10% more of your existing bag, right? And then you're like, yeah, but like, okay, let's follow this up. So then at 3 cents is our next time to take profit. And before we hit that, we go from a penny and a half back down. Oh, we almost went back down to 007. If we went back down to 007, we would have taken 10% of our bags that we had just sold and bought a chunk back in at 007. But we never hit that. Instead, we went back up and you would have sold 10% of your bag at 3 cents right here. If you were lucky to catch it. I would recommend putting it on 0x Bistro at that price. And then when that price hits in the money, people will just snatch it up. That's what I would do. Like, that's better than because we don't have a lot of really good options right now on Pulse Chain. The best thing we got right now is Switch.win from our buddy Brandon. Switch.win, I think you can set some orders here. You might not be able to, but I know he does have some time weighted average and ways for you to buy in and without wrecking yourself with slippage and fees and feeding the bots. So Switch.win is the best thing we have right now. But like I said, if for some reason there's not enough liquidity in the pair, or the bid ask doesn't hit that price, or whatever happens, you may not get your orders filled. So like I said, stuff like 0x Bistro, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can just put, like you said, you could have taken 10% of your bag of Hex and listed it at 007, then took in 10% of what's left and listed that at 1.5, and then took in 10% of what's left and listed it at 3 cents. And those 3 orders most likely would have gotten filled at some point. And then as we come down the other side, let's go back here to the chart. As we come down the other side, when we go from 3 cents back to a penny and a half right here, which, depending on if you caught this wick or not, you'd have a chance to buy back in. So you would have taken 1, 2, 3 sells, and out of all the whatever you made out of those 3 sells back into, let's say, just USDC or DAI, we'll just say you take profits in the stablecoin that you trust. You would have taken 10% of that and bought back in right down here at either this place or this place, at a penny and a half. You would have been able to buy back in a little bit. And then as you went from a penny and a half, we didn't hit 3 cents again. So you would have bought back in at a penny and a half. You would have bought back in at 007. You could buy back in. And then you would have had a chance just recently. Actually, you would have had a chance to sell at 007. You wouldn't have had a chance to sell at 1.5, but you definitely would have had a chance to buy back in at 007 again and buy back in at 0035 right here. So like I said, you're basically and you would still be sitting on some dry powder in the form of stable coins, and you would probably you might not have as much Hex as when you started, but you have a lot more economic energy. So that's just how it would have looked if you would have like done this simple process. Sell 10% every time it doubles, buy 10% every time it falls by 50%. Right? And and granted, you can get wiped out. There's no bottom to some of these coins. They can go to like a trillion zeros and a one, or just have absolutely no liquidity, so you can't cash out. Both those scenarios happen time and time again in crypto. But yeah, just doing that, I highly, highly recommend when our time comes, when the altcoin season does hit, when Hex gets pumped to $1, which I believe Hex is going to hit $1, whether it's this one alone on Pulse or whether it's a combined ETH and Pulse together. I don't know, but either way, I think $1 is definitely in the cards for Hex. And even if it goes back to previous highs of 50 cents, that's bananas. That's still 100x from where we're at right now. So like I think there's definitely time to go sell some of your toys, sell some of your electronics, go mow the neighbor's lawn, do some DoorDash, and start DCAing in at these prices, because you can really this is the Jiminy Christmas. This is what I was doing. I was doing some math the other day walking around work, and I thought of shit that I could sell for Hex right now and Dark. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to do the math on Dark because I don't think it's responsible, but just the simple math on Hex, right? If I were to amass $5,000, which is a significant amount of money for most people, I totally understand that. But if I were to save up 5,000 or sell something I owned, maybe a used car, some e-bikes, because it's snowing now, maybe the RV, whatever you have, your four-wheeler, your side-by-side, a gun. Like a lot of you guys are gun nuts, and you have that one gun in the back, which is really cool to have, and it's really cool to show off. But you really shoot it? No, you don't. And guns have appreciated like crazy in value as well, so that's not a bad place to hold store value either. But I'm just saying, there's probably that gun that you could offload for $500 to $3,000 that you really don't shoot. And if you're to put that into here, dollar Hex is, let's see here, so if you're at $1, we go back. Yeah, so for $5,000, so if you're at $1 and you divide that by half a penny, let's just say you get in under half a penny, not even at 0.004 right now, half a penny, you get in there, then, wait, no. That's not right. $1. Yeah, $1 Hex is no, I'm doing this wrong. Here we go. 5,000. Yeah, if you took $5,000 right now and then you bought in at half a penny, that's $1 million. So right now you can get $1 million. You can get $1 million Hex for $5,000, and if it hits $1, you have turned $5,000 into $1 million. You can take $5,000, which for most people is enough to pay off a credit card or pay off a car or take their family on vacation, and you can literally, in the next 6 to 18 months, not financial advice, obviously, I'm a dude. I'm just a dude with a bear hat on the internet. Don't take my advice, but there's a possibility here in the next 6 to 18 months to take $5,000 on something like Hex, which has done it before. It's proven once. There's a lot of coins that aren't proven yet. It still has a community. I'm betting on the community more than I'm betting on Richard. I love Richard, and I love his ego, and I love the fact that he likes to, show off, and that's good for us. However, my faith is in the community that has struggled and fought tooth and nail on Pulse Chain to build what we have right now. Richard might have flipped a switch and dropped down $5,000 to $6,000 in deaths. I'm kidding, but seriously, like it's not the features are not why we're in Pulse Chain. It's the community, and I would bet $5,000 every day on the Hex community. I would bet a lot more on the anti-gravity community. I'm not going to do that math, but let's just do just do previous high, right? Previous high, good deal. I buy $5,000 worth of dark, which is about a buck right now. So I have 5,000, and then we return to our all-time high of, let's call it 135 bucks, right? So if we just return to our all-time high during altcoin season, that's not bad either. That one is, almost is 675,000. It's not quite 750,000, but this is like to take a $5,000 and turn it into something that could pay off your house, something that could retire you, something that could really set up, give you real life-changing money. That's bananas. We're sitting there. It does not feel like we're in the lucky spot right now. It feels like death by 1,000 paper cuts while we're drowning in lemon juice. I get it. Like I've been there. Life is tough, and crypto is tough. If you think life sucks, just start crypto, and you'll be like, oh, it gets worse. Yeah, but I mean, think about that. That's just simple moon, like. I wouldn't even call that moon math. I would just call that like previous all-time high. And the supply of dark is much lower than it was when it was 135 bucks. And a lot of that economic energy, as you can see in Pulse Chain Scan right here, a lot of that economic energy is stored in the treasury and the NFTs. 47%, almost 50% of the entire supply of dark is locked in the treasury and NFTs. There's 28% that's still in the evil address waiting to be minted over the next 24 journeys. There's 24 more journeys, guys. You don't have enough dark. You don't have enough fuel cells. Trust me, if dark's for a buck here and you want to like play this game out for the next few years, this might be a great time to get a hold of some dark so you can continue to mint. Because, yeah, I'm just going to say your chances of winning stuff and being paid out by the treasury are actually going up, not down, which I thought they would go down. It was designed to make people motivated and incentivized to get in early and mint early and get those Michael Jordan rookie cards all the way down to the 9 that we have right now. We did not anticipate that the minting would drop so fast that the payouts would be outsized. But again, 7%, 8% is in the jackpot box. 3% of that is basically burnt forever. 2.6% of that is burnt forever. When the last time that the evil address was nuked in Journey 7, 26,000 dark were destroyed. Out of the 78,000, 26,000 of them are burnt, and they're stuck in this address forever. Because we didn't do the roll and scrape. So, I mean, sometimes the collective just shoots a missile and does not think ahead. So good news is that economic energy is gone. Bad news is that we don't get to play with it in the lottery, but we will continue to scrape and roll, I believe, in the future. And then you got, Mystery Well 4%. You've got Mystery Box at 3.5%. You've got Pink Mist Well at 2.25% with the liquidity that he has right here that's tied to the Pink Mist Well. I mean, that right there. And then, of course, this well right here with 2% has been minting. Like, if you added that 2 plus 2, 5 plus 3 plus 3, I mean, there's just the majority of the entire supply is locked up here. And then 0.5% is right here. I bet you this 0.5% is the one that's locked with Hex. I'd be willing to bet that. And then you got someone with 1/3%, 20% of a percent, like 0.2%, 0.1%, 0.1%, all the way down. And then you got, like, if you got more than 113 tokens, you are now on the front page. In fact, the winners of our birthday giveaway are probably up here in the 500s now, or maybe a little bit higher. Congratulations, those. Oh, here's a 500. This is 500 burnt tokens that were sent to the smart contract address at the beginning. So there's 500 more that are burnt. So that when we say there's less than a million, there's way less than a million that are actually on the market, including all these liquidity pairs. And so again, the price chart doesn't really reflect the supply very well, or the scarcity, which is just another thing to crank up during our during our altcoin season. Dr. Doge, like I said, it's down at less than a penny. Might want to. I was tempted to buy a bunch of these because I love what they're doing with, they finished Richard Hart's idea of the CFD token they came out with 7 years ago. They made it a reality and proved it with really cool smart contracts. They got a great little community over there. But I wanted to mine my first 1,000 to see if you could really get 1,000 of a token by mining like we did back in the day. And I'm up to 930. I have 930 Dr. Doge. I'm getting paid about 5 or 6 a day. So in the next couple months, I might hit my goal of being 1,000-aire of Dr. Doge. And when we do that, there might be some liquidity provided between the two. There might be some cool stuff going on. Just saying, look forward to that. Dr. Doge, cool stuff. Be a good boy. Earn Dr. Doge tokens. PulseX. Oh, PulseX, what are you doing with your bad self? PulseX is just grinding this way. Of course, if we compare it to Pulse, it's still going on an absolute tear against Pulse. PulseX has a lot more economic energy in it than Pulse. Dragon Believers, man, you can get 1 million Dragon for $10, I believe, and it's doing great against Pulse. Like it's just tearing against Pulse right now. Not pretty tight up supply right there. And then it's not too bad against the dollar either. So shout out to those guys. The Super Stake Hex one that Hex T. Armstrong talked to us about. It's grinding down right now, but I believe that this does pay you in Hex. It's a super stake that you can join. I believe it goes on 60-day cycles. I could be wrong. That one's pretty interesting. And that's the last one. Where's my Pink Miss Well, baby? Where are you at, Pink Miss Well? Did I miss it? Did I skip it? Pink Mist Well, here it is. Right now, you can get 1 million Pink Mist Well for $43, and it's got the same little bounce that follows Dark. And as you see, nobody's really dumping Pink Mist Well because they don't have any. And they're not dumping Dark because they don't have any. I mean, there's one person that has a Dark and has been dumping the shit out of it, but everyone else is basically, I'm not, like, a few of them have been jumping in with buys here and there, but yeah, for the most part, people are just kind of trying to play with the game pieces that they have. You look at the Pink Miss Well, refresh that bad boy. Excuse me. 42% is in the Pink Miss Wells account, and 24% is in locked liquidity with these two. Another 13% is in LP. So I believe the 13% LP is tied to Pulse, and I believe the 24% LP is tied to Dark. So if you look at these three, just in the LPs in this one, you got 66, 79% right here. You got this guy right here, which I believe is the originator of the contract on Pump.Tires, and that's 9%. So those ones right there, you have a solid like 90% basically locked up in the Pink Miss Well, the originator, and the liquidity. You're at 90% locked up. It does not take a lot. Oh, and here's the mystery box with 5% for liquidity purposes and stuff. So, excuse me. Yeah, mystery box. I don't think they're selling any anytime soon. So you got 95% locked up right there. And then you got this guy right here. This person has 12 million, which is 1%. They could dump 10 million, and then liquidity at 3 million LP pair. Nobody has this stuff. Nobody has this. Very, very few people have Dark to dump. Very, very few. I mean, this is actually a much steeper curve. And these are smart contracts, guys. These aren't human beings that dump. The treasury doesn't dump. The evil address doesn't dump. The jackpot box, sometimes that can dump if people win big in the lottery, but a lot of this is it's very, very little that's actually hitting it. And almost everyone that's won the lottery up to this point has recycled and reminted and rolled those dark matter tokens into the next minting phase, which, by the way, I can't believe I've gone this long on stream without going to our favorite website in the entire world.
I'm gonna go play pickleball at the courts for an hour. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, agproject.io, our favorite site. So we love this site so much, we're willing to pay to keep it running. But let's go over here to the minting page. And as you can see, in 5 days, 22 hours, this baby ends. Like that's it. There will be absolutely no more Journey 9 NFTs minted after that. That's it. The printing presses stop. 5 days, 22 hours, basically 6 days from right around now. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We minted our 113, I think, on this address. But that's it. There's a time limit to everything here in anti-gravity, and a lot of that has to do with our affinity to the planet Saturn. I don't know if you guys know this, but Saturn, or Kronos, sixth planet from the sun. 6 is the number of time. And so time destroys all things. Time destroys your chance to mint. Time destroys your chance to get into the lottery. And time destroys your chance to claim your piece of the treasury, which again, the dark in the treasury right now is at 285,000. 28.5% is set to be paid out. So far, 264,000 has been paid out. And there's 354,000 active fuel cells, all fighting for that yield from the treasury. Dang. That's so cool. The lottery, first lottery is going to be in 17 days. So we have 30,000 that have been minted, 30,000 lottery tickets, all fighting for these lottery payouts. 600, 100, 1,800, 3,600. That's the way that the jackpot goes. Bigger, biggest, 1x, 3x, 6x, to like just make it exciting for you folks. And we don't have anything this great from the previous winners. But this is going down. It's all going down. Yeah. Dark matter. I need to add our bear heads and our bull heads to this. We're in the middle of a bull right now that just started after this crazy dump. This crazy dump coincided with our last lottery payout. So every lottery payout has basically been a huge dump, not just in dark, but in the pulse chain ecosystem. And this bull has basically just stopped the bleeding. That's what this bull's up to. I'll put a bull up right here. Let's put a bull up. Come on, baby. Where's our bull? Usually it's like in recents. There's our bull right there. All right, so here's our bull market right there. This is our minting bull phase right here. And it's going to be done in about 6 days, right? So like right around here, around its legs, that's when the minting phase ends. And then we'll have 3 little bears, the 3 lottery payouts, which are people's chance to dump the token. Apparently you don't have to wait for a lottery to dump the token, but yeah, that's going to be it. And we'll just see how this plays out. I mean, this could be a very, very interesting year. Again, Richard Hart, to me, has indicated that we got time. We got time to pump. Like, he does not seem like he's in a hurry to position anything other than privacy and on-ramp and off-ramps, which is a good sign that he's working on that. I mean, the dude needs it. It'll be very helpful for us to have those things. But, at the same time, who knows? DrDoge.net is where you can find out about their locked forever liquidity smart contract, the audit on that smart contract, how to set up your mining and just start mining, helping solve, real world problems cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Basically, this research, this hash power that you're giving them, is simulating protein folds and other pHs of water and medicines, things like that. So not only are you heating your house in at least one room, you're also really doing something good for humanity. So even though I've been cranking my graphics card up for months now, and I'm sitting at $7 return on energy and possibly having to buy another graphics card, I know that this is going towards something that I believe in. And as I tweeted earlier today, believe in something. Actuator token. Let's take our stake. We staked about $60 of hex, and well, we staked about $30 of hex, I want to say, and then we paired it with about $30 of hex, of liquid hex in their pool here, and then we went to earn, we went to farms, and now that $60 is down to $53. Oh, sad day. This is the lowest it's been for a long time, but we have already taken $14 of profit out of the actuator token. We have another 20,000 actuators paid out to us. So we're just putting those liquid T-shares to work in liquidity providing. And yeah, our APR is 44%. That's not bad at all. And if you look at our stakes, we've earned 422 hex. We've also earned 422 hex time tokens that we were able to extract. We extracted a bunch of these, and then we matched them. We compounded them in the liquidity pool with liquid hex, and then we compounded that into our actuator farm, where we're earning actuator tokens. And remember, actuator token, which we go over actuator here. Is actuator on this new list? It is. So actuator token is looking pretty damn strong considering the pulse chain market right now. This is beautiful. This is nice. This is on the way up. Remember, the emissions rate was just cut. So the first year, the emissions, they issued 350 million tokens. Second year, they're going to issue 250 million, and then the third year they're going to issue 150 million, and that's it. That's going to be the end of this token inflating and being issued and being put on the market. And I think they've got some good ideas. You can use the actuator token in their vault right here. If you go to earn HTT vaults, we can take that 20,000. In fact, we should do that. Let's do this. Let's just hit claim all. No, we don't want to claim these ones. We'll go back here to earn. Check this out. We'll go to earn. We'll go to farms. We're going to claim our pending rewards. So we're going to grab our 20,000 actuator tokens. If this pulls up our OKX wallet or our Internet Money wallet. Internet Money wallet has not been working with a lot of apps very well, and I don't have the time to really go through all that. Let's try this again. Let's cancel it. Let's resubmit it. Actions. Let's actually refresh the page. Sometimes you just have to refresh the page and now to talk to the wallet. But we're going to claim those rewards, and we're going to lock them in a vault for 90 days. And because we locked them in the vault for 90 days, we will get a piece of the Hex Time tokens or liquid T shares that people pay when they extract them. So you'll pay like a 1 or 2% fee when you extract your liquid T shares and put them to work. And yeah, this is not working well. This is not refreshing very well. We'll come back to this maybe. And then our Pulse NFT checker, like I said, look at all these burnt NFTs. A lot of these are the evil address. Obviously, we're waiting for the evil address to be kicked out of J8. And then J9, we'll see what happens with J9. Yeah, and then Pulse Market. It's working here. Squirrels. Squirrel has this logos charting tool, which at some point may be combined. It's got an agent as well to help you look up stuff, but this will probably be combined with the Codex, which is the blockchain explorer, where you can add an address. Like this is the smart contract address for dark. This is the one right here. This is the address right here, and it's loading our portfolio and our NFTs right here. I did add a wallet address right here. Add address again. Maybe I have to re-add it. But either way, exciting things coming from Red Squirrel, and not just in the Codex, but also like, so look at this. So here's the fuel cell NFTs. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It shows my fuel cell NFTs. Here are all my Journey 1s. Wow, I got a lot of Journey 1s. But we can, here's our Journey 8. So our Journey 8s are right here. Our Journey, and it's showing the animation and everything clearly. Here's our Journey 7s. Like, that's beautiful. And look what else you can do here. This is very, very cool. You can go to sort by name. So you can sort them by name, and then there may be some other drop-down features you can do here to sort and look at, your NFTs here. We'll just say there's some really cool stuff being built here to manage and organize your NFTs. Shout out to Red Squirrel. Red Squirrel, if you appreciate his work here, buy him a beer. Buy him a beer. Go down here. He's got his address right here. Ends in 8C, 8C0. Put that in our chat here real quick. So yeah, buy Red Squirrel a beer. Send him some Hex, send him some Pulse, send him some Dark to say thank you and keep him going. Really cool, really cool. Yeah, that sort button doesn't work at the moment. LOL. That's okay. We're just showing people there's some cool stuff being cooked, and make sure to support him there because he is building some of the best stuff that we have. And he's not. This isn't even his like full-time gig. This is a labor of love. Like a lot of things he does, which is I think why they turn out so good and turn out so well. But yeah. So, hook up Red Squirrel, support him if you can, and keep an eye on squirrels.pro because there's some really cool stuff happening here. PulseX, Internet Money. Let's see if it'll pull up my wallet. Here's my Stream wallet. It says I got $126 of value, but I'm not. Oh, it's all in dark. Well, it's still showing that I have 100 dark, but I don't. I minted those. Interesting. Yep. Here's our fuel cells on Mintra, where you can sort them, but you can only send one at a time. Here's the issuance rate of Actuator. Let's go back and see if Actuator is loading and working and see if we can vault some of that stuff. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go actions, claim pending rewards, submit. It should pull up OKX. Maybe we'll just wait a second and check again. There's Amazon Web Service. Oh, this is some other stuff that super secret stuff there. Let me just show you guys that. Stakehex.today. Do you guys remember this site? I used to take all my onboards here, and we would do like the moon math and how much they would have with each of their stake would be worth at different prices. They got Hedron.today as well. And then, this is our giveaway winner, Diane, when she won the 500 dark. That's awesome. It's very, very cool. And this is the really shitty money supply chart that's totally inaccurate, if you ask me. All right, let's check one more time with Actuator, see if they're pulling up this. Maybe we just have to click it 4 times. Either way, if I did claim these rewards, then all I'd have to do is go to earn, vaults, And then since I'm extracting hex time tokens on day 7,000, it makes sense that I would deposit in that vault to get hex time token 7,000s. And then I could just go and I could go back to my stake right here and I could retire. So I've extracted 15,000. So if I got 15,000 more, I could put them in here, retire this. Basically, you're paying off your loan, just like paying back your home equity loan so that you have full value in your stake again. So very, very cool. Let's see here. Chat. Okay, we're at the horizontal part here. Hello, believe in yourself. I always feel guilty shopping on Thanksgiving. Only I got the Magic Johnson joke. I hope it wasn't a good one. It was not in the spirit of fun. It was meant in the spirit of fun, but it's fun. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks, Bright Light. Sabotage, a great song by Beastie Boys. I hear that every time I hear the name Sabotage, I hear that. I can't stand it. Yeah, it's a good song. We got our spam from Twitter. I'm happy that that's going on. Max is guaranteeing everyone that Hex will hit $1. I know. Look at who's your new senior tech. This guy, yeah, we were showing you that. Congratulations to our new senior tech. Let's see what he earns as a senior tech. Do you guys want to see the swag that old Bright Light gets for being a senior tech? Let's see if we can find it here. Oh, goodness, I never find it at the right time. It's right here. Boom. Excuse me. I need to eat something besides this coffee. The coffee's caught in my throat. Here we go. Okay, so let's see. Let's go up here to senior tech. So senior tech means that Bright Light has earned a total of somewhere between 66,666 points and 99,998 points. You'll see that all these repeat at 369. So junior operators 369, technicians 369, junior agents are 369, navigators are 369, and officers are 369. And so as a senior technician, he actually doesn't get any new rewards. Sorry. You got to get to lead technician, buddy. You got, I don't know how many points you're at. If you want to tell us on the board, you tell us what number you are. But that's what that leadership board is on anti-gravity right here. Oh, look, someone's got 10 tickets in the Pink Missile game. Yeah, if you go down here to Mint, and then you scroll down just a wee bit like this, and you do highlights, full leaderboard, this will show you, what they've won over here on the side. So he's won the first set of rewards, which is basically a sticker set that we were giving out on our birthday. And so he would be somewhere around here. Here's the senior technicians. So the senior technicians says they get an evil address sticker, rapture sticker, iron-on technician patch. Did they get that? I might have this written wrong. No, the lead technicians get an iron-on technician patch. So actually, this is incorrect. Pay no attention to the website, folks. The lead technician gets those. The lead operator gets the collective sticker, the dark matter sticker, anti-gravity sticker, and we were sending out a stencil of the collective symbol, but we're out of those, and they're expensive as hell. They were really expensive. They're really cool. The first few people that hit those got those. We mailed those out, but we're out of those. And then the stickers and the technician patch, that's actually lead technician. So we'll have to have our front end dev change that on here. But then this is where it gets fun, is the junior agent. As soon as you hit junior agent, yeah, you get the previous stuff. But you also get a print and sign current journeys NFT and a choice of a t-shirt. So yeah, we will professionally print out the NFT and send it to you. It looks amazing, like the one behind me for Journey 1. And we'll print that out. We'll send it to you. We'll sign it. We'll number it. So it'll have its own serial code number of how many have been printed by us. And I'll sign it and send it to you. And you can put it up on your wall like some of the people have in our community, which is so cool. And yeah, if you hit this, again, like I said, you get the same thing as a senior agent, as special agent. You also get once you get to special agent, you get a collectible book. We're going to do a print of the collectible book whenever it's finished and send that out to you. And you get a special agent patch and pin. And that's just knocking on the door of 1 million, like just under 1 million, all the way up to 3.3333332 million. You can get that cool stuff. And then it gets silly. And then it's like, the spacesuit, like Randy Hilarski's one, back pad or laptop case, and then navigator patch pin and a basic laptop, like a dedicated crypto use, print and sign Journey's current NFT. So you get it gets fun as this goes up. And remember, you guys are you guys are earning collective bonus points every time you participate in the art contest, and every time you mint an NFT, you get 222 bonus points. So that's our game with the collective. Congratulations on your new rank, Bright Light. Love it. Hi, happy Thanksgiving, Pulse Ray and Collective. Thank you, Hex Monkey. Thank you very much. Why did the math book look sad? It had too many problems. Happy Thanksgiving. Does the evil address mint the exact? Does the evil address mint the exact amount of fuel cells every journey? That's a great question, Hex T. Armstrong. And to answer that, we will go to the AG Bible. Let's go to the AG Bible. Oh, here's chapter 1 of the book if you guys want to read that. But if you go to the AG Bible, no, the evil address mints less tokens every single journey. In fact, it basically mirrored the percentage of the yield going down is the same percentage of, so it takes about 650,000, 65% of the entire supply is going to be minted by the evil address, and that's going to pump up the lottery and the treasury. But as you can see in this journey 9, it minted 28,857. Oh, so actually I was thinking it was like 29.9, but it's 28.8. So just shy of 30,000. It basically are all owned by the evil address right now. And then it drops to 25,000, 23,000, 21, 18, 17, 15, 13, 12, all the way down to like the 33rd journey, the very last journey, right before the rapture, right before all the tokens that aren't being used in the game get destroyed forever. It's going to mint 2,301 on the 33rd journey, when only, and by the way, who knows how many dark will actually be in the journey, in the treasury by this point, but it gets 0.1% to split. So, I mean, that's dust. It should be dust pretty soon. However, because it's dust, very few people are competing for that dust, which means the people that do compete for that dust could get a really good share of all this, all these tokens that are still going in as we get more and more scarce and as dark gets more and more rare. So thank you. That was a great question. No, yeah, it started with 67,000 minted in Journey 1, which are all gone, plus an additional 7,000 have been burnt from Journey 1. Then it went to 60,000, 54,000, 48, 43, 39, 35, 32, 28. So you see it's dropping just like the pay rate is dropping. But we have yet to see the evil address benefit from any of its minting. In fact, we've just seen it ganked. And yeah. Same amount of that sort button doesn't work at the moment. Good morning, CS Lives 463 Crypto Cat. I was telling these guys we may see a very, very intense poem popping up on the collective as part of the art contest very soon that I'd like to go over sometime. Notifications. I didn't even know he sent me this amazing poem days ago. This week has been bananas, as I'm sure a lot of your guys' week before holiday is bananas. And I didn't even check it until today, and then I was absolutely blown away by that poem. Very interesting. Not just a poem, but it's also like it's kind of philosophical. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's very, very cool. Wait till we dive into that one. Other than that, I've shared all my Boomer tabs with you guys. I'm just going to probably chill the rest of the day. There are some people I owe some I think I sent out the one to Jonathan Kampala, Pulseway Vibes. I need to send some J5s out to Red Squirrel, some J6s to Steve Stash, some J7s to Corey and Investor, J8s to Wilhelm, and J10s to Red Squirrel. I need to send all those out. And also Wilhelm, Elizabeth, Wild SJ, and CryptoCat. I might have your shipping addresses. If I don't, please send those to me so I can send you your sticker packs you won. And then Wild SJ, Hex Glenn, and CryptoCat, I need a size of t-shirt and a shipping address for those. And then also for the Dark Matter shirts. And then for the Anti-Gravity shirts, CryptoCat, Elizabeth, and Pulseway Vibe, I need some shipping addresses and size of t-shirt that you want for the Anti-Gravity shirt. Remember the boob, the tit sweat bib? We went over that. And then the 500 Dark have been sent to Hugh and Diane. Congratulations. I didn't even know I was going to do that until I started the birthday stream, and I was just overcome by gratitude and love for you guys as always. So I got to X that off. Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen share. I'm not. Okay, good. I'm getting some addresses sent to me as I speak, so I'm trying won't dox those people. But we're in the bear. I think we're in the heart of the bear. I mean, at the risk of sounding like a complete idiot again and being wrong and jinxing us again, I don't think can go that much lower than the bludgeoning that's going on right now. I've been wrong in the past. Hex could go to 1/10 of a penny on Pulse. I don't even know what it is on Ethereum. Something insane, something low, something crazy. But this is the point where a little bit of eating out money or walk around money or junk food money or Starbucks money, you can literally take that money, small amounts of money right now, you can literally change your life with crypto. Now, granted, I'm telling you the horses I'm betting on, but I'm not always right. So, and for those of you that held Bitcoin this year, congratulations. Like, that was the move. We didn't think it was the move. It's definitely the move. And I think that when there's a big old shakeout from Ethereum, I think Ethereum is going to be, there'll be people that make a lot of money on Ethereum in its wave, I believe. And then it's the altcoin season. Then it's our party. Then it's our season, as Richard says. And so, yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful, obviously, for the project, for you guys. I got plenty emotional on the birthday stream, so I don't need to blubber now. But remember that you guys matter. What you do matters, and you have so much more value, and you're so much more precious and wonderful than even you realize. And if you can't accept that thought, just entertain it. Just try it on for a while. But other than that, love you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Happy Thanksgiving. And like I said, send me those t-shirt sizes, send me those addresses. And yeah, let's go into the rest of this holiday season and see if Bitcoin finishes its jump to 150 or if it just continues to grind sideways. We'll just see, and we'll see what I guess the Fed cut rates, even though they said they weren't, or they did now, and they said they're not going to. And I don't know. The government 99% of the time is going to make things worse, not better. But all we can do is focus on what we can control. And you guys are stronger than you think you are. You're smarter than you think you are. And we're gonna make it. We're gonna get through this. We're all gonna be okay. So, anyways, with that, love you guys. Ciao.